What's up? What's up? What's up?
What's good,
What up?
man? Listen, it's another Thursday, y'all. Good to see you, bros. I only get to see y'all once a week, and it's always a pleasure. But what's up, good people? Y'all
What's
see
Happy
good? Shout out to
Thursday.
my boy
in a
Terrence
row?
Montgomery checking
Who?
us out from Georgia. It's my guy.
All right, then.
Okay.
What's good,
Love it,
bro?
love it. Welcome. But y'all, what's good? Happy Thursday, everybody. Welcome to
Is
Root
that the
Access.
Craig Hayes?
Who?
What?
Is that the Craig Hayes?
Let me
See, I
find
can't see
out.
no comments, man.
Let me
Whoa.
find out. Hey, Professor. It's usually good morning, but good evening this time. But
Oh,
y'all,
Craig
it's
Hayes is in
him.
the building.
we we're more excited about Craig Hayes than the whole show, huh? Professor, hats off to you. Salute.
Hilarious.
I love
Thank
it.
you for tuning in.
Appreciate y'all. He's screaming, y'all need to stop. Don't be modest. Right, Kim, you still up? It's nap time, Kim. He get up early in the morning to grace y'all on WIMG 6 a.m. to be exact. If y'all get a chance, definitely tune in to the Craig Hayes morning show, The Lab. He's definitely a great entertainer in the morning. In the morning. But anyway, y'all, welcome to Root Access Live, the show where you get to the root of the stories. Welcome to hottest entertainers, and we keep it all the way 100 here. We are your hosts. I'm Coco. We got Mr. Root and Jinx with me.
You know.
Appreciate y'all pulling up on us tonight. I want you to go ahead and hit the share button for us real quick. Invite all your friends to join us right here, right now on Facebook Live and YouTube Live because we got a good show for y'all tonight. Tonight's topics, will include Travis Scott, as you all have been listening to that catastrophe. We're going to touch on the Flint water crisis, and for the third week in a row, we got to guess, y'all. Tonight we have the Dove, Grammy, and Stellar Award nominated businesswoman, wife, a mother, the talented, lovely singer songwriter, Miss Anita Wilson will be joining us tonight. But before
Yeah.
we
I'm super hyped.
you, I am too. I'm super excited, uber excited about tonight. But y'all,
My sis.
before we got on or before we came on, we found out some news and we want to take a moment to acknowledge it. It's very disheartening to say, but one of our favorite guests, Bishop J. Drew Sheard, lost his father today, Bishop
Yeah.
John Sheard Sr. So
Yeah.
definitely prayers out and condolences to the Sheard family. May God continue to bless and comfort them as they go through this difficult time.
Absolutely.
Um, Last week, Jinx, you had such a good time. We had Miss Shantae Moore on. And at
Phenomenal.
the end of the show, you were so, I don't know if you were excited or you were shady or you was just being shady, but you cut us off. You didn't
Talk
even
about
let
it.
me get the outro out.
Talk
You was
about it.
being so bad because of this the GOAT, let's just say that. And the GOAT, and I'm not talking about LeBron James. We had the lovely Miss Shantae Moore on last week, and she agreed with Mr. Root. Her and Mr. Root were on the same team, same color jersey, red and black, I believe, Chicago Bulls. But you was mad, sir. You was real shady to us last week. You done cut the darn outro off. I don't appreciate that, and I don't think my brother do either.
Let them know. Let them
Welcome
But
know.
everybody to
anyway,
the Root Access Live Show. It's your boy Jinx. Do me a favor, go ahead and share the broadcast for us because I don't know
Oh,
what
he
these
gonna
two are talking
ignore us
about.
now.
oh, I
We got
thought
a
he was.
phenomenal guest on here tonight, the one, the only Miss Anita Wilson. I am extremely excited. Listen, I don't know about y'all, but I'm ready for these hot topics. What we got tonight?
Thanks for that
Man, you
second
talk about
intro.
deflect, bro. He's a
Right,
king of
thanks for that
deflection.
second
What we
intro.
talking about?
But guess what? Scottie Pippen still think he should be in the same light as Michael Jordan, and Odell Beckham got traded to the Rams today. So what you
Didn't
think
he?
about that?
I think it's phenomenal. I think it's a great move for OBJ's career.
Okay.
But I do want to be honest. I don't know how many more stops he's gonna have. I mean, he's becoming like that disgruntled person who you don't want
Mm,
around, and
not good.
he's too much of a talent for that to continue. So I hope that he gets it right. I hope that he accomplishes what he's looking to accomplish with the Rams. I don't have a dog in the fight. You know what I'm saying? My Eagles are not doing anything this year, so you know, good luck to him and the Rams. If they make a run, they could possibly be playing the Super Bowl in their home stadium. So, you know, that'll be good for him. So hopefully he does it. In other football news, Killer Cam Newton back where it all began with the Carolina
The
Panthers.
Panthers.
That's crazy. He went from starting at the Panthers to out of the league to the Patriots, getting cut. Now back where it all began. It life is a full circle, guys.
Oh, I ain't got much to say on football. I'm an Atlanta Falcons fan, and we just had a victory over the weekend. We definitely beat the Saints, but I haven't been too thrilled in the past couple of seasons with my Falcons. Although I'm still a Matty Ice fan, yeah, I don't have much to say about football right now. Next, no, I'm just kidding. You got anything you want to say, Mr. Root, about that?
No, I mean,
Yeah, because the Giants suck.
oh,
And
yeah,
then there's
pretty
and
much.
then there's that.
Although I think they won on Sunday. However, the
We'll have to
Knicks
go
are
back
doing
and check
the
that.
Knicks are doing extremely well.
Very well.
I'm so proud. I'm shedding a tear over the Knicks because this is like what my grandfather wanted for them. So I wish he was here to experience this.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I smile every time they win, and they're playing hard, man.
They're balling.
They're definitely playoff
They're balling.
contenders again. So I'm looking forward to that. But the Knicks are balling for real.
Absolutely.
Well, y'all, for more than about 6 years, we're gonna shift this thing. For more than about 6 years, the Flint, Michigan, the city of Flint, has been suffering a water crisis, a public health crisis that started in like 2014 and lasted until about 2019. After drinking water from the city of Flint, we learned that it was contaminated with lead and possibly a Legionella bacteria. So
Yeah.
in recent news, we learned that there has been a settlement for $626 million for this crisis. I don't even know if I'm glad that they came to a settlement, but I don't even know if $626 million is a lot of money for lives lost or the tragedy down there. What do you guys think about that?
I'll start off really quick. I think, I mean, it would never be enough, no matter how much it was, because again, it's permanent damage for
Right.
so many children and so many, just people in the city of Flint. This has been going on since the Obama administration. It carried on through the Trump administration, and now here we are in the Biden administration, and now they're getting some sense of
Really?
money. But this is something that should have been taken care of way back during the Obama administration. I mean, you're talking about people like this is America. How in America do you give citizens who pay taxes bad drinking water with lead in it? That's a crisis. If it's not a national crisis, it's definitely an American crisis. And what
Public health.
the crazy thing about America is we always want to come to other people's aid. We're always in other people's business and trying to, so they can, if they're seeking refuge, we always coming to the rescue, as it seems, because we do stuff for, I feel like, photo ops and like we're the savior, like, oh, America is, the best land or the best country in the land, right? But when it comes to our own backyard, homelessness in this country is at a record high. Poor people are even in this climate, it's like people which I don't understand because everybody's hiring. That's one thing I don't get, why people don't have jobs, because everywhere you go they're hiring. Why does people have money all of a sudden now? Like why is everybody hiring and it seems like nobody's working? It's very weird. But in this country, man, like that should have never happened. But we know why it happened, right? If it was, the common white person, there's no way that would have happened. But because it was Flint, Michigan. But again, it's about the long standing, it's the after effect now. People have suffered brain damage, kids. How do you wash and clean and drink that water? It's and it happened for years. And that should have been something. It should be movies made about this. I think there's a documentary out on it. Like this is it's criminal, and it happened under the administration's nose. I think it happened even before the Obama administration, if I'm not mistaken. Like
We
this
didn't
is
learn
something
about
that
it
was
until
carried on for years.
Yeah.
So now $626 million. So who's getting it? Are you going to disperse it throughout the whole city? Like, I don't. How does that work?
I don't know. What I do know is that Hollywood acted more swiftly than the government,
Mm.
because there's a whole movie about Flint, Michigan. The movie came out, it's been produced, it's been aired and re-aired and re-aired, and yet the government has not found a solution, but Hollywood saw the opportunity to bring light to this situation. Now, normally, um, movies don't happen until there's some kind of resolution and something has been done, and then the movie comes out. Well, that just goes to show you how backwards this whole thing really is.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
You really are talking about not having a clean water supply. We're talking about something that is essential to livelihood.
A natural resource.
Yeah, like this is not something that we're talking about is like secondary or
Right.
tertiary. This is primary. This is a necessity for
Right.
everyone to live and survive.
Daily.
Like the reality of it is, I don't know how many people realize this. You can survive without food, but you cannot survive without water.
Right. Right. Right.
And what you're telling these people who are taxpayers, who are citizens of, this great country, that, oh, by the way, you have a whole bunch of amenities but water isn't one of them.
Right.
It's just crazy to me. And so you ask Coco, is it enough? Well, how much do people value the lives of their family members?
Mm.
Because if we're going to talk about it and be real, the reality is that people have died from this contaminated water and from dehydration,
Mm.
who have they're gone.
I
So
almost feel bad taking a sip of water right now.
yeah, they're gone. Mr. Rook will come back and join us in a minute, but they're gone. So the reality of this is that, look, you got to ask those folks, what is your family member's life worth?
Right.
626 million. I'll tell you, I'll be honest with you. One of my family members dies in this type of situation, there's no amount of money that is going to satisfy my desire
To
for
speak.
them back in my life. There's no amount of money that's gonna bring them back, nor is there any amount of money that is going to cause the pain of them no longer being here
Right.
to go away.
Yep.
So
And
we're
just
talking
like
about this water,
right.
like
We
we
get
Water,
it by the
man.
case.
Water.
We get it by the case. But yeah, like you were saying, and as Root was saying, we're the most powerful country in the world. We use money, or we donate money to fund wars, to go to other countries and help them. But for 6 years, a small city within 50 states was suffering in a public health crisis through
Coco, I'm
water.
so sorry to cut you off, but when you just talked about the kind of money that we spend to do X, Y, Z,
Oh my
what
gosh.
what came to my mind is the lottery. How come
Okay?
we can't take the lottery funds and apply them
Mm.
to situations like this, right? You're talking about you want to cancel hunger in America. You want to cancel poverty in America. You've got a 6-year drought in Michigan, but yet you've got people playing the lottery every Tuesday and Friday. And the last jackpot that I saw, the Powerball, was like $500 and $600 million. So
Yep.
I'm sure that money could have been added to this settlement, and we could have been talking about 1.2 billion as
Okay?
opposed to 626 million. Because from the school of thought that I have in my mathematics, is B is greater than M.
Him.
So billions would have helped more than the millions. Now we talking
Absolutely.
about something. But
Yeah,
as my father would say, that sounds too much like right.
That sounds too
okay,
much like
talk
right.
about it. And then and to your point, just like you saying poverty and all that, you go to Atlantic City, you go to Las Vegas, where there are billions of dollars being, transacted through, just doing whatever people doing, leisure activities, gambling, and there are thousands of homeless people right outside. Skid Row is right outside. You know what I mean? But to catch up on that or to keep up on that or more information, you should definitely visit www.theflintwaterjustice.com.
www.
flintwaterjustice.com. I have been reading on it. They have a lot of questions that people may have answers to, or the website is definitely full of answers. So definitely visit the website if you're interested in learning more about the Flint water crisis, because it's really, really sad. And speaking of sad, at a heated Texas school board meeting in late July, a man accused a black principal of promoting critical race theory and the conspiracy theory of systematic racism. Now, since then, he was suspended at first, and since then he has been fired. So we learned that. And I don't know if you all know what the critical race theory is, but I thought it would be nice if my brother Jinx could break it down for those of you who don't know.
Sure. I mean, before I get into the actual definition of critical race theory, let me preface what I'm going to say by it is impossible for someone not to understand that critical race theory is a real thing. Like it is literally impossible. And if you say that it doesn't exist and it's not a real thing, you are simply in denial. Like you are denying the facts of reality. So like critical race theory is something pretty simple. Like, so in a nutshell, the central idea behind critical race theory is that racism is institutionalized, right? And it's embedded in a country's history. So specifically America, right? So the concept of critical race theory is that racism is embedded in America, from the legal systems to the policies, to the histories, to the police officers, to the judicial systems. It is literally something that teaches that no matter what you do as a minority, you are going to go through a set of challenges because of the color of your skin, right?
Sad.
And so it's broken down into 5 different principles, right? And the first one is the race or race is a social construct, right? So it's more about like who you are, it's more about the color of your skin than who you are. Terribly wrong. And then you've got the commitment to social justice, the importance of experienced knowledge. You've got the interdisciplinary perspective, which contends that no one has a path to freedom, which is crazy because, like, literally, if people who are African American or minorities, it is literally proven. It's I don't know how you can deny it that people of color have a harder road to travel than those who are not colored. It is, I mean, we don't have to go but so far. Thank you. I don't, this individual, thank you so much, because it is taught in law schools. That's how real this is. And so, like, without getting into too much jargon, in layman's terms, I mean, if you think about what we have been protesting as African Americans for over 500-600 years, it is critical race theory in a nutshell. We have literally been protesting about the injustices that those who are colored and in a minority population deal with. We're protesting the unfair treatment by police officers. We're protesting the people who are, treated differently because of the color of their skin. If you don't think critical race theory is a thing and you don't think it's real, and I'll digress with this, go try to fill out an application for a job. Why is it so important for them to ask you your race? If it doesn't matter the color of your skin, and it doesn't matter whether you're black or white, Hispanic, whatever, why does it matter on a job application? Do you know why it matters? Because there are percentages and thresholds that must be met by these corporations so that they're not looked at as racist. Hello, knock on wood, knock on the door. That is critical race theory. You wouldn't have to do that if there wasn't something trying to combat critical race theory, because there's no reason to combat that. There's no reason to ask that question, because you wouldn't care, and it wouldn't matter.
Here's the thing.
I'm very hype about this, because the fact that people in our judicial system and our politicians, the fact that they don't see this as a real thing and are trying to admonish people not to talk about it, again, that's more proof that it's a real thing.
Here's the thing about critical race theory. There's nothing new under the sun. This principal who was fired, his name is Dr. James Whitfield. He's the first black principal of the school. This is a predominantly white school, and it's, I believe, an elementary school. Mm-hmm. The thing about it is, a lot of these schools, they're saying that these kids are too young to learn about critical race theory, and that is the biggest hock of crap I've ever heard. Because again,
because they're not too young to walk outside and be black and be targeted. They're not too young for that.
Exactly. So my thing is, there's so many things I learned as a child that I still take with me today. Because when you're like a sponge as a child. So if you teach critical race theory, these kids, this is what they need to learn about.
That's what they need to know.
Instead of the little things they taught us in school. We learned a few things about Martin Luther King, about Abraham Lincoln freeing the slaves, and that's in a nutshell. They want to hide things from us. So this is very, very important. I saw Condoleezza Rice on The View talking about critical race theory, and she's living in La La Land, and she's from segregated Alabama, and she's arguing the fact that critical race theory should not be taught in school to children, because they're innocent and life is what you make it. And I'm like, what world are you living in? Just because you made it to be the first black woman Secretary of State, like, what does that mean? Okay, you beat the odds, but everybody's not beating the odds. And guess what, Condoleezza Rice? Behind closed doors, you still a B word, you still a nigger to a lot of these people. So don't get it twisted. Absolutely. And this is why critical race theory needs to be taught. This is are we kidding ourselves here? Like in the 60s, they wasn't whipping us. In 2021, they still not whipping us, but in a different
way
through the police. So, this country, man, is almost like they don't want to acknowledge the fact that this is a racist country. And that, like, I don't understand how this is even a problem. And how are you firing a principal? And I looked at this guy on the television. He's like the nicest guy. There's so many parents that are in the uproar, but the fact of the matter is, majority of the votes was to get him out. That's why critical race theory is important, because of those people.
That right there proves that critical race theory is something that needs to be taught, because what we're doing, it's almost like when you go through high school, and high schools, and follow me here because I'm gonna go on a little bit of a run, but you'll understand. When you go through high school and you learn your general studies, the question is always, well, how is this preparing me for life? How is this going to prepare me for what I'm going to do or deal with or face as I get into adulthood? So, going through high school, they just now started teaching you how to balance a checkbook, how to read a bank account statement, right? How to budget as an adult when you have a family, your profit and loss statement that every family should have about what's going in, what's going out, what's coming in. Those are all things that are going to prepare you for what's to come. And the reality is, for you and I, critical race theory is just as important on how to balance a checkbook. Because I'm gonna tell you what, when you get out in the real world and you experience what it is to be a black man or a black woman in America, you're not going to know how to deal with that unless you are taught to expect it. And I'm not telling you to go through life expecting to be mistreated, or to go through life expecting to have to work harder than everybody else. I don't want to preach a doom and gloom message, but what I am telling you is don't be surprised when it happens, or if it happens, because 9 times out of 10, it's going to happen to you. And this is the reason why many people like you and I, who look like you and I, are not prepared for it, because we've never been taught what it is, and we've never been taught how real it is.
Yeah.
And this country wants to remain ignorant. That's the bottom line. This country wants to turn a blind eye.
So then why do we have so many politicians talking about we have so many innocent black men incarcerated? What do you think that speaks to?
Right.
It
Yeah.
speaks to critical race theory.
Right.
Why do you think
And
there are no? Why do you think if you go to the sports arena, why aren't there many African American owners?
Mhm.
Critical
Right.
race theory.
Right.
Why has there only been, depending on who you talk to, we'll give two because of Hanson, two black presidents because of critical race theory.
Talk about
it. I mean,
We could
can
even
go
talk
there.
about the weed game, guys.
Yeah.
These people who own these cannabis stores and plants.
There's no black
There's hardly
people.
no black people. There's no black people.
Not because there are no black people with the money. It's because they are cut off.
Right.
That's right.
Right.
And let me I just want to give this as a footnote. They voted 7-0 to suspend him on Monday.
Wow.
7-0.
Now.
Unanimous.
Yeah, and I see somebody, Faye Reed, she said her child is now learning that the hard way. And for a while I would say not to teach
that's my
kids
sister.
about color, but nowadays they do need to be taught that in the home, like Jinx said, so that they can be prepared when they do face it, if they do face it, not hoping that they do. But it is a challenge for people like you and sometimes me to go outside and return home in one piece. That is a challenge. That is something that we think about when you leave your house, whether you're going to work, you're going to the store, you might not come back.
Mm-hmm.
So we definitely need to teach that, and not in a negative way, but have them to expect it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow, y'all. Well, we might as well go right on over to Kyle Rittenhouse then, huh? I'm just saying.
Speaking of critical race theory.
Kyle Rittenhouse
Speaking of critical race theory.
Speaking of, 17-year-old Illinois resident appeared in Kenosha, no driver's license. Mom drove him several states
Talk about it.
to be in Kenosha.
You crossing
with
state
an
lines.
armed AR-15 rifle.
17. But now he want to cry.
I can't do nothing.
That's how he looks.
A fatal shooting is what he did. Is the crime he committed. He killed people. Premeditated. Like, I already know what I'm going to do. Mom, drive me. Why did your mother drive you?
She should be charged as an accomplice to murder.
They both
right. What like?
And he pulled that crying stunt, and I'm not falling for it. It was total BS. Like I said, you drove several states. You had ample time to think about what you did and what you were about to do.
Absolutely.
It's premeditated.
Listen here.
And the reality is his mother needs to be charged with an accomplice to murder.
Absolutely.
And you want to talk about critical race theory in reverse?
But I'll tell you one thing, if they keep this judge on this case, he's gonna walk.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yes.
That is critical race theory.
He's clearly racist.
Now,
he's clearly racist.
Yeah, I don't know if everybody's been watching, but I know Jinx pointed out an important piece, and I don't know the details on it. But like Mr. Root said, if we keep this judge, he's gonna walk scot-free. Or what
happened in the courtroom? What happened in the courtroom?
So anybody who kept up with 45's not slogan, but his song, his campaign theme song. It was that song, "I'm proud to be an American," for where at least I know I'm free.
A good old WB song.
Yeah. So during the trial, the judge's phone was on loud. It wasn't on silent, and his phone rang, and it was that song that was playing as his ringtone. And I mean, I know that some people are like, "Oh, you guys are reaching. You guys are just maybe he just likes the song." No. No.
I don't think that's the case.
No.
I don't think that many of us are saying that.
No, I'm clear on this. He's where he is. And like Mr. Root said, if this is the judge that is on this case, 9 times out of 10, Kyle is going to walk like everybody else.
Isn't that something? I'm just... whatever. I mean, it definitely shows that the justice system is not on our side in many cases. In most cases, Ahmaud Arbery, for one, in recent news, like you said, Tamir Rice. We can go back to Emmett Till. The system is not on our side, and not to
Never has
mention,
been.
you
Never
said
has been.
that his phone, the judge's phone, rang during the court session. Now, aren't you supposed to have your phones off? Or
Like not
ringer
even
down, not
not
even
like
in the
like
courtroom.
you're not even supposed to take your phone into the courtroom.
Right.
No.
So for his ringer to be on loud and that song is to playing, that's far from reaching. That
That was the
is what it
Lord. That
that
was the
is what
Lord.
it is. Right. It is what it is. That was for people to see, and not
Hmm.
just black people of color. It was for everybody.
Yeah, to see and hear. He's just, I mean, even the way he was pressing the prosecutor yesterday, like everything he said, he wanted to combat, and he was totally wrong. Like in so many instances, it's just like he's trying to back him up against the wall. Everything he said, he had to overrule. Like it's just this dude is clearly not the one for this job, and they need to remove him, or else this guy's definitely gonna walk. I'm telling you.
Well, that's not going to happen unless we speak up. People like
Yeah,
us.
we got to speak up.
That's never going to happen. The jury is not going to go against the judge for whatever reason. I don't know what the jury is down there, or how it's set up down there, but he's not going anywhere unless people speak up. So that
Yeah.
is what it is. And we'll just have to keep up on it. And yeah, those fake tears he can go to with that.
Peace
So
out, Kyle. Beat it. I
yeah,
feel like about you how I feel about George Zimmerman.
right. Because
Both of
I'm
them.
Everybody want to be a big. Everybody want to be a tough guy and a vigilante.
right,
Both of them can kick rocks with
There
right,
no
you go.
shoes on and go
okay,
play in traffic. They could
Go
right.
play
they
in
could all do
traffic.
the same thing.
We
And
don't
I'm
care.
feeling real sad about Travis Scott, but we can go ahead.
Yeah, we gotta
Yeah.
we gotta get right because listen, before I
I
preach,
love it.
before I preach,
You know he
every
will.
He
every
about to.
time, every time before I preach, I'm singing more than anything. It's like I look at my musician and he knows right away. He doesn't even ask me no more.
Aw.
Mr. Root, do us the honor of introducing the one, the only Miss Anita Wilson.
Well, it looks like you already did my introduction. I'm gonna get you on the after show because it's like you took my job. But this is my sister, man. A decade ago, back in the days when we used to get albums before they came out. Now that doesn't happen anymore. I got this album called Worship Soul, and I was from beginning to end like, yo, this album is a game changer for gospel music. And we became friends very fast. It's a song on that album called Perfect Love Song that I still play to this day. I love her. She is one of the most stylish people in gospel. She does things in her own way.
Right.
Every album she dropped is Grammy nominated. Let me be clear. Every album she dropped has been Grammy nominated. That says a whole lot about this amazing woman. She's my sister. Worship Soul, first album, Vintage Soul, Sunday Song, and now she has a new album out entitled Soul Sister. Welcome to Root Access Live, Miss Anita Wilson.
Welcome.
Hey,
Welcome. We
thank
appreciate
you
you.
all. Thank you.
Oh
I
my God, this is
appreciate
good.
y'all. I appreciate being on with you tonight. Thank y'all for having me. What's up, family? How y'all doing?
What's up?
All
See,
is well
this is
over
how we
here.
know. This is how we know how musical you are. Look
See?
in the background, guys.
Look at one of
Right,
my
right.
look at one of my
Listen.
members. I
I
don't lie.
definitely
Yeah,
was
that's my
peeping it.
wow.
See that?
That's crazy.
That's the
So are
same
those
member.
are those
He sings
are
that
those
song all the
actual
time.
album like vinyls?
Yeah, these are the vinyl cases. I took the actual vinyls out. I went through my little collection and Rick's big collection, and so yeah, it's vinyls that are sleeveless at this point. But yeah, these are the actual vinyl covers, man.
Root, what you pulling out,
Some
bro?
of my
I knew you was about to pull
influence.
something
Come
out.
on,
This
come
is my
on. Where's
vinyl
she at? Where's she at?
Fire.
that
Yes.
Anita gave this to me at Root Magazine's 5th anniversary. I redecorated
Wow,
my
yep.
office, but this remains on my wall because this is fire, man.
Yes, it is.
Thanks, man.
So yes,
Thank you
yeah.
so much. I appreciate the love. I appreciate the love. Thank
So
y'all.
Anita, what's going on, man? You just came out with this new album a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Soul Sister. I
Yeah.
see you're touring. You're doing city wineries across the country. Tell us a bit about the album. I know you have a feature with Faith Evans on it. That's dope. This
Yeah.
album, I mean, one thing about you is you're consistent with your
Yes.
sound. So talk a bit about this new album,
Thank
Soul
y'all.
Sister.
Thank y'all so much. Thank y'all. I'm excited about the new Soul Sister album. It is completely independent. It's my quarantine album. You know, we definitely worked on it starting probably a bit over a year ago. Hassan, you know, we always Mr. Root, excuse me. You know,
No, it's
we
okay.
always start out. We always at least begin preparing the album like a year or more out. So we definitely put that in-house time to good use last year, and you know, doing everything remotely and getting files from everybody and stuff. And just it's a very free space that I'm in. You know, it is the fourth full album, and I've presented different kinds of vibes, I think, on each album, while maintaining some consistency as well. At least that was the goal. So to be on this fourth album, I remember when I first got a license deal for my first independent album, Worship Soul. The label head was like, "It's gonna take 3 albums for you to establish yourself," and I was like, "Oh God," you know, that felt so far away to me in that moment. But I look up and we've released this fourth album. So I'm grateful to be to this point, and I just didn't feel any pressure to, I never do, to compare it to anything else, to try to recreate anything. We just went with the vibes that we got, and it all felt really, really good, really, really natural and vibey. I kind of pushed the limits on, I stretched myself in the booth, you know, with my voice, and
And
just
rapping
the ideas that we went with, and rapping a little
and
bit,
rap.
just a
And
little bit,
rapping.
Right.
just a little bit, yeah. And you know, touched on some very personal subjects close to my heart. You know, it begins with the song "A Real Love," which speaks to dealing with insecurities at times, or just self-doubt, or just needing to strengthen your self-love. And you know, when you find God, you find you. When you find you, you find God. You know, that whole vibe. And love and loss, one speaks to, you know, when you love and lose someone as well. And as you mentioned, man, I'm just really hyped that I have such cool collaborations on this album with my brother B Slade, with Ruby
Dope.
Green, with Kinsey, and with the Lady of Soul, Miss Faith Evans, man. So I'm proud of this album. I'm excited about it, and I hope you guys know I don't believe in promo week. I believe in promo year. And
Right.
Hmm.
as an independent artist, it takes longer to just reach, you know, just reach as far as I'm able to reach in my power and my sphere of supporters. So we're gonna be talking about Soul Sister for a while now. And but I'm excited. I'm grateful. So I hope everybody goes to get the album, and we're gonna be doing some merch, and we'll probably do a vinyl in a couple of months, and really do some
Dope.
stuff. So I'm trying to move around and do some concerts and all that. It's so far so good. I'm
Well,
grateful.
you should be excited, and definitely a congratulations out to you. Your voice is just,
Thank
your
you.
tone is just like none other. I
The
can't compare
tone.
it to anybody. You don't sound like anybody. It's just all you. Four
Wow.
albums in though, and all of them have the
Yeah.
word soul in it. What is the significance of
Mhm.
the word soul to you?
I love soul music, and what I found out, you know, soul music, I feel, needless to say, it's a big influence on me. That's what I heard growing up. There was always the vinyl spinning in our home growing up, and I love the balance that my parents had. We were definitely pastors' kids, but my father was a singer and musician too. So we always heard not only the Hawkins and Winans and Clarks and great gospel music, but we heard great old soul as well, Donny Hathaway and Gladys Knight and you name them. So that's a part of my foundation. And I've always been a church girl, but I feel like whatever I sing, it could be a hymn or it could be something else, but there's always kind of a soulful edge to it. So just kind of being in tune with my voice. And I think the soul sound is reflective of the Black experience. I love Black culture. I love and I'm proud to be a Black woman. And it speaks, it speaks our emotion, our struggle, our our journey, our history, our ancestors, and all of that. And I think it's important to maintain the soul sound in not only music, but more specifically gospel music. And sometimes, if I can be candid, I don't always hear a soulful sound in gospel music. So I'm here to continue to wave that banner and stay true to my foundation in the process as well. Soul is, gospel and jazz mixed together. It's all from the same space. So that's just close to my heart. That's just a very natural space for me. Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, if understand the assignment was a person, that's her.
Well,
right.
thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
I
It's
love it.
it's so
Yeah.
dope to finally meet you. I've been,
Thank
like I said, I've
you.
been rocking with your version of More Than Anything. The live version is
Mm,
super crazy. And
thank
that
you.
song is like literally a testament to my life, right? I don't care what I'm going
Mm,
through, like that song pulls me. Like it doesn't matter.
thank
Because at
you.
the end of the day, like whenever I'm dealing with whatever I'm dealing with, that song pulls me to a point where the reality is I'm centered in love. And it's
Mm,
his love. I
mm,
love him, he loves me.
mhm,
And I
mm,
want to thank you for recreating that because that is the best version
mm.
ever, like hands down.
Wow.
And it
Oh
is
man.
phenomenal. But what I love about you is that
Wow.
one song I might be shouting and dancing, and the next song I might be
Mm,
chilling and grooving.
Soulful. Yeah.
There's such a true balance because on
mm.
Sunday Soul we went from I seen him work to
Yeah.
Jesus will. Like we're like which one?
Right.
Where am I at?
What we
But
doing?
I love it because it was so balanced. It was so balanced. So
Mm,
how do you
thank
maintain
you.
that balance? Because it can kind of get
Mm,
lost with that whole mainstream thing, trying to be like everybody else. You stay
Mm-hmm.
in your lane and you're
yeah.
balanced in your lane. How do you do it?
Thank you so much for that. I just honestly, this is going to sound much simpler than it is easy, but I simply stay true to what feels natural to me. Um, I always say I'm glad that I started as a solo artist in my 30s. So I wasn't very super young and super impressionable. And I wasn't super thirsty to be a solo artist. So I had a fairly balanced mindset of what I wanted to do and who I was as an artist. I knew who I was and I knew who I wasn't. So even
Right.
setting out to do songs like Speechless being my first
Mm,
single, that was
mhm,
very much out of the box because there was nothing that sounded like that.
Mm-mm.
And I had to grow to embrace that because that can be a scary thing in an industry. That's where it gets tricky and sticky because a lot of great church singers want to quickly step into the music industry, and that's when it gets into industry stuff and charts and cookie
Yeah.
cutter commercialized sounds to tickle the fancy of people and stay on the surface and not get too deep and make sure we stay in that whole thing. I never subscribed to that, so I was free when I came in. And I say that, like, that's why I said it sounds simpler than it actually is to do, because it gets hard sometimes, and it did when I first started to stay true, because there is that pressure to do something else. There were label executives that encouraged, because some of my music didn't shoot up the charts and come to industry standards, they began encouraging me to do something else and do a different kind of sound. And hey, maybe you could re-record this CCM song, or maybe you should do this worship song. Maybe you should change what you're doing. And I politely slid that paper back to them, and I never felt that pressure because I'm
That's
like, when I lay down at night, I'm going to be I'm going to be peaceful knowing that I'm being authentically me and not trying to fit into anything that anybody else is doing. And that hasn't come without its sacrifices, or it's definitely made the road longer in some ways. But I love authenticity. So that's honestly not a hard thing for me to do, staying true to myself. You know, you got to put your blinders on because you are affected by the outside noise and the influences that try to get in your head, that they did a time or two. But I was always definitely clear about wanting to stay true to me and not be scared and let these vibes out. People always
Right.
ask me why I don't sing R&B. I guess it's the tone of my voice or something, but I'm like,
Like real Layla
up until this
Hathaway.
point,
Mm-hmm.
You
well,
could
thank
be in the
you.
same lane as a Layla,
Thank
for real,
you.
for real. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Thank you.
But you're not saying
That's very
R&B.
humbling. That means a lot to me. Yeah, you know, and who knows what I would do will do in the future. You know, I've sang R&B songs at my shows and recorded jazz and all of that. But listen, I just like to let my influence out. You can't listen to great music like this all your life and begin to create your own. And then some of those threads don't come out in your music. I think we should listen to more legends, as opposed to listening to each other. So we can
Right.
sound like
Mm-hmm.
what each other's doing right now. But if we are influenced by something, let it be some of these classic hits that stick to your bones and definitely reach out to your soul. So I hope I answered your question, y'all. I get long-winded, so I'm a hush.
You good.
No,
No, you're good.
absolutely. You're doing
Speaking
well.
of speaking of influences,
Thank you.
though, how
Yeah.
significant was Donald Lawrence? You
Mhm.
sung with the company for many, many years. How significant was Donald Lawrence in you breaking out on your own and your sound and things of that nature?
Oh, super duper influential and a major gift. For God to have started my journey there, my professional music industry journey. I did some local projects in Chicago, and one thing led to another. But when I was linked up with Donald, and he was handpicking singers, and I know how hard he is on singers. I made sure that I was always very present for that experience, you know. So I always learned so much in the studio. I learned so much on the road. I learned about the music business, and he encouraged us to not be fans, but you know, to be students of the industry and the business as well. So when we got our own opportunities, we would know how to be a good steward over them. And I definitely thank you. Keep doing what you're doing. Thank you. I definitely, you know, apply so much to this day that I learned from Donald in that almost decade that I was a member of the company. I love singing background. I miss singing background with my company family. That's my first love. But I learned so much, and I'm grateful for what I'm able to apply to my journey now, and to still be family, of course, with Donald and get his full support. He's always been supportive of me. Sometimes, you know, you're connected with leaders, and when you begin to grow, they want to hold you to themselves. Feel away, have a little attitude when you want to step
Right.
out. But Donald was always very supportive and proud, and that's the first voice you hear on my first album,
Mm-hmm.
as he releases me into that space. So shout out to Mr. Donald Lawrence for being such an amazing, wise, big brother, boss, mentor. And while I'm shouting out, I also have to mention my husband, Rick Robinson. You mentioned
Rick,
more than anything,
Come
and I cannot
on.
say, you know,
Talk to
thank
me.
you so strong without saying
amazing
thank you to
songwriter,
Rick.
amazing
Yeah,
songwriter.
Rick Robinson wrote a song that I think should be in the hymn book. You know, I think it's a classic
Yes,
song, like Center of My Joy, Total Praise, The Blood Will Never Lose Its Power. You know, we sing that song everywhere and everybody loves it. And I'm grateful when you cover a song, you always want to leave it better than you found it, or at least put something respectable on it or your own little mark on it. So I'm grateful to have done my version of it. But Rick always talks about the power of a song, honey. A cat, a horse could sing, I love you, Jesus. And
that's right.
it's
That's right.
something in that hook. It's something in that line. And, you know, everybody would join in. So
Ain't nobody worried
I'm
about
grateful
the
to have
verse.
Right.
Ain't
represented
nobody
that.
worried about the verse of that song.
I know they'll be checking it.
Everybody
I
want to
make
go
them
straight.
listen when I sing it. I'm like,
Which
we
one
gonna
of
sing
those,
this
right?
verse. I'm gonna say
Right.
this bridge, and then we gonna get to what people make the title. They call it "I Love You, Jesus." I'm like, that ain't the name of it. But
Yeah, more than anything.
It's so
Right.
true.
20 years later,
Oh
we
my
still singing
God.
it like it was made today.
It's
Like,
Ain't that
timeless.
something?
It's a
definitely
timeless.
timeless. Love it,
Amazing.
love it, love it. And I was gonna ask, I'm like, she probably gets tired of people talking to you about it or asking you about it, but you really can't get tired of it because every time it plays, it's like it's brand new.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah,
man,
absolutely. Absolutely.
I don't get tired of talking about that song or any of these songs I've been blessed to sing all this time. Music is a gift, so I don't tire of it. I don't tire.
This is good.
Good.
So
I'm just
Anita,
honored.
I know you. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Jinx.
My bad, Root. You spoke about in the song I've seen him work. You talked about when the Lord
Mhm.
healed your father.
Yes,
How is he doing?
he's in heaven.
Is he?
He is.
Okay.
He is in heaven. It was such a pivotal. Thank you for asking. And don't feel
Absolutely.
away. Yeah, yeah. It was such a pivotal time that I recorded that song. That was a turning point that night that my father could not make that live session. And he called me, and he was declining, and he called me just before the session and was like, I'm gonna stay in. And I cried like a baby after that, because I knew what that meant. I knew that was like a turn, because my daddy wasn't gonna miss nothing. If you listen close enough on my first live album, you hear his voice all over from the front row, right? So when he
Mm-hmm.
told me that, I knew what happened. I knew just that space that he was going into, and it had to be bad if he couldn't come. So when we sang I've seen him work, I have to say that from that space, I had said my ad libs, and that was a part of my faith that I was singing, about God, healing my father. And being a believer, he passed in about a year later in 2017. I recorded that in 2016. So I have to believe by faith that ultimately he did heal and restore my father, and he restored him to him.
Sure.
So many times we pray for healing, and when they don't continue to live on earth, we consider that being that God didn't heal them.
Right.
But he just didn't heal them the way we would have liked for him
You want
to.
like them.
I would have loved for my father to continue to be well and walking this earth and all of that. But he was an amazing man. And I always say, if anybody deserves paradise forever, that's my father. And then I got happy, oddly, that he wasn't here to experience all that drama last year. So I was like, I'm glad my father is not even
Yeah, right.
here to
Speaking
deal
of the
with that,
pandemic,
dealing with
right?
cancer and dealing with that. Yeah, exactly. So, but thank you for asking. Even that, I don't know if you know the Sunday Song album, but the Total Praise Reprise, and when I started flowing on that, and I said a line, I said, if it turns out this way, it was like God singing. He said, if it turns out this way, I got you, and if it turns out that other way, don't worry, I still got you.
Mm-hmm.
And that was such a moment that I was insistent on putting on the album, because I really felt like God was singing not only to me, but to encourage other people. Like, don't worry, y'all. It's going to be some rough times ahead, but I got you. I got you. So yeah, thank you for asking about my father. I honor Pastor Frederick Wilson Sr., who is chilling in heaven.
Well, we
Absolutely.
honor him
Chilling.
too. I'll digress. I had
Thank
no
you.
idea. I didn't see anything. I didn't hear anything.
Yeah.
So again,
Yeah.
we appreciate you
All
being
good.
vulnerable with us.
Absolutely.
For
So,
sure. For sure.
Anita, being that you're such
Yeah.
this game that we're about to play, you're the perfect
Okay.
person for,
Oh,
because
Okay.
it's a musical game. It's called Talk It,
Okay.
Sing It. So
Okay.
a lot of times we hear songs. So when we hear with the music, we sing along, whatever. But when you just hear the lyrics to a song
Throw
without
it off a
music, you're
little
just like,
bit.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, oh wait, I think I know that song.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm gonna talk the lyrics to a few songs, and if you
Okay.
guess it, you can just hum it a little bit. Or no, you can't hum. You got to sing, because you're a real singer.
Right. Okay.
And we have Benjamin Crump on here. Benjamin, you don't need to sing it, bro.
Don't sing, just hum.
But if you know the song,
Okay.
you can just sing it, or guess it and then sing it. All right.
Okay.
All right. First song. There are people who have let the problems of today lead them to conclude that for them life is not the way. but every problem has an answer. And if yours you cannot find, you should talk it over with him. He'll give you peace of mind.
Oh my God.
When you feel your life's too hard, just have a talk with God.
When you feel your life is hard, have a talk with God.
So you got
Right?
it. Stevie
I knew
Wonder.
the hook. I knew the end of it. Stevie
Yeah,
Wonder.
see, but when you
Absolutely.
read them lyrics, it's like, that sounds
I'm
familiar.
It's like,
sitting
what
here
girl?
like, what?
Yeah, exactly.
It'll
Right. I
stump you.
was too
Okay.
at first. Okay.
All right, I got another one. Who would have ever thought a guy would find a girl like me? Who would ever thought that I would fall so easily? Who would have ever thought that we would finally come to be? I guess they just don't know what you mean to me.
I know this.
Who would ever come to think you have so much to say? Well, go on anyway. It's all right.
That's all right.
Okay.
It's okay.
Take whatever comes my way.
Who
Together we will stay.
trying to like me.
I got 3 words to say.
So easily. I don't know too much to say. Say never say never.
Never
There
say
you go.
okay. I've been like,
You're the best one at this game so far, bro, because we normally have people stumped.
right.
All right, let's see.
Oh God.
2
I
for
can't
2.
stump Anita, really. All right.
It's 2 for
let's
2.
see.
Right. Winning.
All right. The Lord has made a covenant with you. He has promised.
Lord has made a
Dang.
covenant with you. You are in the earth. So when recession comes, you won't be affected. When sickness comes, you'll have good health. The dollar may fail, your wealth will increase. War all around, you'll be at peace. The blessing is on you. God's promise to you.
Yeah.
Karaoke.
Donald Lawrence.
3 for 3.
That's what I'm
Donald
talking
Lawrence,
about.
the blessing is
Only one.
on you. Woof.
Root,
That's a
Root.
song
I
right
couldn't
there.
stop.
Hey.
Yeah,
Root.
I couldn't stop. I
Root,
love
she's the
that.
only one in Root Access history to go 3 for 3.
I know.
Yes,
I
you
got
are.
one more.
Come
I
on.
gotta get one more.
All right.
I'm just out here
All right,
trusting
this is
God.
the last one. Can we
All right.
stump Miss Anita Wilson?
Can we do it?
Homicide cases piling up,
What?
rape and killing, even with the innocent little children. To those that can really see, you know that this shouldn't be. Because what America needs is more love and peace. She can be free if she goes back down on her knees.
You got me.
You did that on purpose. Mr. Root. She had
Yeah.
a perfect score. You
Oh,
did
man.
that on
That was
purpose.
Pray for the USA, the Clark sisters.
Yeah, I don't know the lyrics to Pray for the USA.
That's horrible.
All right.
3 for 4 is not bad.
3
I
for
still
3.
think-
Okay.
Yeah, we ain't gonna count that one.
You gonna let
Hey,
her go?
Coco, we gonna write that in the record book. She went 3
Right.
for 3.
All right, 3 for 3.
Right.
Thank you.
If
Thank
If we
you,
had a
fam.
trophy,
really-
she'd get it today.
Really, that was a bonus of me trying to stump her. So we'll give her 3 for
Okay.
3.
Okay,
Shady,
I'll take that.
being
I'll
shady.
take that.
So Anita, tell us what you got
Yeah.
going on coming up. Any shows? What can we
December.
expect?
Yes, indeed. I'm headed to Yoshi's. I'll actually be in Atlanta this weekend. But I'm for a full-length show. I'm headed to Oakland to do Yoshi's Oakland, November 24th, Thanksgiving Eve. And then in December, I will be in Philly at Philly
Okay.
City
Yeah.
Winery.
We coming.
Absolutely.
You're
So,
coming.
but yes, I need y'all to be there. I need y'all to help your girls spread the word. You know, I've never performed at the City Winery in Philly, and I haven't done a lot as a solo artist in Philly either. So, but I always see a lot of love. That's why I love social media. So I want to come and get with y'all in person and have a good time. So that's December 16th. Thank you, City Winery, Philadelphia, December 16th, and we're still kind of solidifying where we'll be for New Year's Eve. So things will kind of slow down a little bit. Other than that date, and then at the top of the year we're gonna get back at it and go hard in Soul Sister World and continue promoting this album and get some visuals going and all of that.
Well,
Nice.
you heard it. The album is entitled Soul Sister. Download it. If you haven't downloaded it already, which most of you
Shame on
should
you.
have already, y'all better download it right now. All right? Don't make me point at you.
Download it. Add
Don't
it,
make me get
y'all.
you.
I see a lot
Add
of
it.
people.
It's really dope.
They'll screenshot it and they'll be like, I'm listening, but then you don't click the add, the plus
Right.
sign on Apple, you don't click the download and the heart on Spotify, and of course purchase it and stream it on repeat, if you like, for my super soldiers. But be sure to add the music. That lets the people know that somebody's interested in that music. So I appreciate y'all.
Well, we love you, and you're welcome
your hair
here
is on
anytime.
fire, lashes on fleek. You
Always.
look amazing.
Thank you.
You look amazing. We
Thank you.
appreciate you.
Thank
Beat
you.
She
to the
always fly
gods,
now.
okay?
She always
Yeah,
fly.
always look. I never. Kim said it earlier. Is her hair never not done? Do you
I mean,
ever have a
I
bad
never
day?
caught her slipping.
Ever?
Listen,
Ever?
that's because
Keep
y'all
up.
didn't see me about an hour and a half ago. Okay, this is for y'all. This is all for y'all.
Appreciate
But
that.
thank you.
Definitely
And
appreciate you stopping
Then give my
by.
love to my brother Rick too, man.
I will give my love to my sis, and I really do appreciate y'all's love and support. And I pray that the music continues to live and all that good stuff. Y'all, my website is missanitawilson.com, and I'm on social media, Anita Wilson at Miss Anita Wilson. So y'all hit me up and get some merch, get the album, spread the word. And if I cross your mind, say a prayer for me.
Dope. Well, thank you, sis. You're
y'all.
welcome to Root Access Live anytime. Miss
Thank you so
Anita
much.
Wilson.
See you on the 16th.
Yay.
Yeah, we'll see you on the 16th,
All right,
December 16th at the City Winery.
Yes, indeed. I look forward.
Love you.
Much love, y'all. All right, love y'all too. Okay,
Back at
bye.
you, babe. Oh man,
Peace.
she's so sweet. Oh man, that was
She's dope.
really dope. She's so great. I love her. Like I said, her tone and everything is just like none other, incomparable. But
Nah, it's no
y'all,
artist. It's no artist like, especially in gospel, like Anita Wilson. She's definitely in a lane all her own style, all of that.
And I forgot to say it. I hate to discredit any artist, but she even made the New York Times bestseller of top 10 lists, and I believe she was the only gospel album up there. I don't remember what year it was, but yeah, I never want to discredit anybody, but definitely she's a big deal, and I do look forward to seeing her soon. But y'all, we forgot. Happy Veterans Day to all the veterans.
Happy Veterans Day.
Thank you. Definitely appreciate y'all. But y'all, it's been another great show. We got to go.
I'm about to cut you off.
Don't cut.
Listen.
No, listen.
Don't do it, Jinx.
Wait till I say good night. All right. Now, it's been another great show, y'all. Decent vibes, great energy. Muchas gracias to the lovely Miss Anita Wilson. Thank you all for tuning in, and we'll see y'all.
December 3rd.
There you go. December 3rd. We got 2 weeks off. Y'all enjoy your holiday weekend too. All right.
Yeah.
We love y'all. Thanks for tuning in to Root Access Live.
Peace. Don't cut us off, Jinx.
You ready now?
You can go now. Now.
Can I cut? Cut? Somebody say cut. I don't want nobody to get mad at me.
Nope.
Reviving?
Nope. We're going to dance out.
Hey. Thank you.
Hey.
I see some.
Peace, y'all.
Definitely shout out to the new ones, the newcomers. I see a lot of people that I haven't
All the
seen.
newcomers, we appreciate your support.
Absolutely.
December 3rd, we'll see you again.
Make sure you like, follow, and subscribe on all platforms.
Peace.